So this episode is going to be a bit different.
A bit
Yeah.
cozy.
A bit cozy, yeah. You see,
Cozier vibes.
we're cozied ourselves up. I have some water in my cup right here. Kalle is sitting in
the same
in
clothes.
the
as
same
last
clothes
time.
as last time. But yeah, we're going to try to keep this the topics of this podcast to be more less serious in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also that we had a lack of icebreakers that we usually have when we start the podcast. We usually have some sort of topic that we know probably will give us a discussion which will take us somewhere else.
Yeah.
And for this one, we have no icebreakers. So we have tried to create some of them to
Yeah.
try to see if there's an icebreaker or not.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
If we have good icebreakers
Yeah.
or not, or if they
Yeah.
hold up.
on top of our mind.
Because to be honest, that's the icebreaker or the beginning of the podcast before the discussion starts. That's one of the harder parts.
Yeah.
And also like the wrapping up of the end. It's probably the part that we are struggling most with, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrapping up and starting up.
Yeah, start up and wrap up. Yeah.
Exactly. So we will have a really good run with the company, like
Yeah.
in 2 years, because we have started it up,
Yeah.
but it took a long time, and then we will have a really hard time
Ending it.
ending it,
Yeah.
exiting it,
Yep.
basically. Yeah, so I tried to write down some icebreakers, and I want to see how you react to them and see if
Yeah.
we get a discussion out of it.
So these icebreakers are going to be non-conventional.
Yeah.
It's going to be icebreakers you probably haven't heard before.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yep.
Yeah, probably. So the first one I have is, where did all the toilet paper go?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, so during the corona pandemic in the beginning, everyone were buying toilet
Yeah.
paper for some reason.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is really weird because like if you don't have toilet paper,
Yeah.
you could still go to the shower. If you
Yeah,
went
yeah.
for the second one, you could go to the shower and just flush it away from you in
Yeah.
some other way
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
using a toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like instead of, okay, maybe if you get like in Sweden we didn't have any, we could do whatever we want, but if people are restricted to their homes,
Yep.
Yeah.
maybe you need like food and stuff, and food is more important than toilet paper. So I
Mm.
think it's a very weird thing for people in Sweden. I don't know how it was in other countries, but in Sweden, like the toilet paper ran out
Yeah.
Yeah.
almost, or people thought that the toilet paper were going to run out.
Yeah.
It was like a really weird situation because, as you say, toilet paper isn't a necessary thing to live. It's
No.
not a necessity, but people went crazy when it came to toilet paper. I
Yeah.
wonder if it was like it began with some kind of like someone working at one of the companies making the toilet paper. They were like, let's capitalize on the fact
Oh,
that
yeah.
people have to stay at home.
It feels like a marketing thing.
Yeah, it does.
Because
Just take all the
if you get the
toilet
flyer from the government, like if there's a crisis, you should have water at home. It won't say you need to have toilet
No.
paper.
No.
Yeah.
Weird priorities. I mean, some countries, some places. For those of you listening, you don't know me. I'm half Japanese, and in Japan we have toilets that are literally they flush your behind
Oh,
when you
yeah.
you can
you're
choose to.
cleaning with water, basically.
Yeah, they clean you with water, and then afterwards you would use the toilet paper.
You were
to
sitting
to
with the
wipe.
joystick that you have.
Yeah.
Up and
Oh, that
down,
hits the
up
spot.
and down. Oh, perfect.
Enjoying it, but a bit too
I was
much.
trying that in China actually, where my friend's mom, she was like really excited for us to trying it, and it was a bit
Yeah.
weird. She was like, "Yeah, you
Oh,
need to
okay.
try this." And I was like, "Why though? It's just like water
Yeah.
coming up your ass."
Yeah.
What's the problem?
I wasn't actually taught by my mom or
No.
my grandma or anyone on how to use them. I didn't even know what it was.
Oh.
And I actually tried it the first time at a public restroom.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if the toilet was broken or if this is something that happens, but I pressed one of the buttons on the side, and it just started to spray water out of the stall. Like it started to spray
Oh,
water
okay, yeah,
out
yeah.
of the toilet.
Oh.
So I got like I freaked out. I was like 8 years old or something.
Oh.
So yeah, don't recommend pressing the water button if you're not sitting on the toilet.
No,
Yeah.
it feels like it's a bit gross in like public toilets to use it. I don't know. It feels like because it would be like the public toilet water, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the same probably as the tap water,
Yeah.
but still, kind of feels a bit more.
I was like, wow, this is very unique place to put a water fountain. So I started to put my face down and drink the water.
No, I usually do that out of the toilet bowl, but
Yeah.
no.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever dropped something in your toilet that you need to pick up, like a phone or something? And how is that feeling? Because I think I dropped my phone once in the toilet, and I was like, should I go after it? Should I put my hand in
or
the
is it
toilet, down
gone?
in the toilet,
It's
or
gone.
should I just leave it there?
Yeah.
Too late.
And I took it up, but it felt like really weird, and I had to sanitize my hands for like 3 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then I realized that it's basically drinking water.
Yeah.
It just feels very, very wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've dropped a toilet paper roll
Oh,
into the
gee.
toilet when I was changing the rolls.
Yeah.
So I dropped an entire new one into the toilet, and obviously I couldn't flush it, so I had to stick down the hand and
Pick it up.
Yeah, rip it up,
Squeeze it out.
squeeze it
drink
out, drink it, do a Bear Grylls.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I think I'm a bit like, I don't think I'm as grossed out as most people are for this stuff. And it's probably because I spent, I don't know, like
Where's this leading?
Where did you spend all this time, Kalle?
I grew up in a public toilet stall. No, but like when traveling, I didn't used to. Now, like I'm obsessed with having these like wet wipes with me. I always bring wet wipes with me because I can't really use the toilet without them because it's just like such a huge difference. But at times when I don't have them, I will actually
Secret confession. Where's this going?
I will flush the toilet, and I'll use I'll take toilet paper and I'll like use the
wet paper to
I'll
clean your
use
butt
the toilet flush to wet the paper.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
when you're gonna clean
and
your
then
butt
I'll just
afterwards.
exactly.
Damn. That's some
So
technique.
you don't really want like dry toilet paper up your ass.
No, like when I do, but it's just like it doesn't get it as clean.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
but that's true though.
Yeah.
That's true.
Wow. I haven't used that technique. Maybe.
No, you should try it.
yeah, I
It's really, really sanitary too.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That was a pretty good icebreaker.
That's
yeah.
a good icebreaker, right?
Yeah. Where did toilet
And
paper go?
I got to learn more stuff.
Yeah,
about
more
you
about me.
and you.
Yeah.
You're weird, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anyone, or should I do the next?
Maybe we should take turns. Have
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I don't have anything.
You don't
I
have
couldn't
anything? Okay.
Think of anything.
This one isn't as good, in my opinion.
No pressure. Like we're just trying it out. now.
Yeah. When you meet someone for the first time, and you want to break the ice, does your mom help you choose your clothes?
It feels like that you have something else to say. Like
Yep.
if it's a pickup line that does your mom have blah blah blah, and
Because yeah.
You look so good, or something.
because you look so good. I think it could be an icebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm trying to think if someone would say it to me, what would I respond? Because that's the whole part of it. Like,
Yeah.
what is my response to that? I would probably be like, why? So why?
Why would I?
Why would you ask that?
My mom helps me choose my clothes.
Every morning.
I've listened to a couple of podcasts where they say for people with social anxiety to try to find a common ground with the person you're talking to. So I was just trying to find some common ground, bro.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty good. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
need some work.
I think the thing with the icebreaker there, everyone has their own styles, but I think that if you ask a question, it has to be an open one, because now you're asking like, does she do this? Yes or no? And the yes or no question is not necessarily good. Like how if I say instead, how was your week? Then you have a lot of things to respond to me, probably, if you're trying it out. If I say like, did you have a good week? Yes.
No.
Okay, great. And I don't even ask questions when I do icebreakers. I just tend to start talking because I get like nervous. So I just like start babbling, and then people are like, "What should we think about this guy? He's really weird."
He just keeps talking.
Yeah. So I have one.
Mm-hmm.
Eating on the subway. So I hate when people eat on subways. Like it's the worst thing ever because I don't like the smell of food when I'm not eating the food. So I feel it's like real disrespectful when people eat on the subway. And in Singapore, it's illegal to eat on subway. And I think that's a really good law that we should have in Sweden or everywhere else in the world.
All over the world.
Because like it's the most nasty thing in the world. Like eating on the subway, it's the same like pooping on the subway. You're just like it's just like different smells. If you ask me,
same result.
same
result, different smells. Makes me sick.
So what do you think about eating on the subway?
I've always like public eating in general. I think should be outlawed.
Exactly.
No, but those like rice cakes.
Yeah.
That's like, to me, that's like the worst thing that you pull out, especially on the subway or like
because
on
they
a bus.
smell also.
Yeah, it smells so bad. And usually like food that you eat on a subway is going to be like, I'm imagining at least like it's a, what do you call it? Like a matlåda. Like, food that you take with you to work. Like you have a little box. Tupperware box full of food that you just pull out, and it's just like it traps whatever smell is in there.
Yep.
And then when you open it up, it's just like boom. And then usually the smell, even for the person eating, is not good because it doesn't smell like the actual food that you're eating. It smells like something that's been just like 1,000 times stronger than what it actually smells like, and it smells kind of weird.
Yeah.
Too.
And that is like, it depends on the food. Fish.
Yeah, that's okay.
In the lunchroom.
That
is okay. Yeah, okay.
Sushi,
Sushi, surströmming.
Because I feel like if I go for a train ride that is between Stockholm and Gothenburg and it's like 3 hours, I still get annoyed if people eat food during those 3 hours, even if it's lunchtime. I feel like this is disrespectful as fuck. So I get really annoyed about that. But then if you think of it as if you have a bus ride in 20 minutes or a subway ride for 20 minutes home, that's even more disrespectful because it's fucking 20 minutes. You will be home soon. Eat then. What's the problem? Why do you have to eat now? Like, is it so important for you to eat your food right now?
Yeah, the only time it's okay is if it's like you literally have no other time during the day to eat. If you're when you reach your destination, you have to take another train or you have to go somewhere else, you have to do something immediately, then it will be like, yeah, okay, I can understand. But I agree, like, for the most part, I'll also try to, or I go to the bistro. And I'll sit there and eat there because that's where everyone else eats.
If you take a long distance train.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like if a child would eat on the subway, I wouldn't even be okay with that. I would just like go right in front of it and just like smack it out of it. Like, you should learn.
You should learn.
Tell your parents this is not okay.
Do you have any more icebreakers?
Yeah, I have one more, and I was just wondering that, like, if it's imagine a summer evening or lunch, it doesn't really matter, but you are going to McDonald's and you see that there's a queue inside, and at the same time there's no one in the McDrive area. Do you, or have you been going to the McDrive instead and order there? Or do you have to have a car to do that? Like, what says that you need to have a car to order in McDrive?
I actually have done this.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah. But on bike.
Yeah. But it feels like a bit better if you have some sort of vehicle.
And that was actually at the McDonald's that is
it's the one right
here.
outside.
Yeah.
Right.
So a couple of friends and I, when we were younger, we went to the McDonald's and there was a lot of people, obviously a massive queue inside, and no cars in the drive-in, so we just took our bikes and went into the drive-in. We weren't getting any like meal, just like a Sunday or some ice cream.
Yeah.
And they were fine with it. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's-
I think they are totally fine with it. I've done it like several times.
You've walked.
Yeah, I
or-
walked
Okay.
with friends. Like, yeah, we'll go here and order
Oh.
here instead.
All right.
life hack.
The
Yeah.
real life hack, actually.
Yeah, I think that could be like a viral clip if you just like go, like film a queue in McDonald's and then you just film outside, no queue in the drive-through, queue, no queue, queue, no queue, and then you go drive-through.
And then you get your order right away. And
Yeah.
you still, when you're done, you just film the queue again.
Yeah.
And like, you see the person in red shirt.
Yeah, still there.
He's still there.
Same
and
spot.
I have my Sunday right
Yeah.
here. So you just need to hack the system.
Yeah. Oh, that's really smart.
Another icebreaker.
Yeah.
What is your bedtime routine?
Bedtime routine. That's a good icebreaker
Yeah.
because you actually have to tell like what you do before you go to bed. So
Yep.
that's you're creating a scenery in
Yep.
it.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't remember what what routine do you have, Carl?
Depends on how far we want to go. Like how, do you mean like,
Like 2 hours before, because
2
then you
hours
start to get ready. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I'm kidding.
yeah, that's when, no, I usually start to get 6 hours is what
6
I need.
Yeah. I eat in bed.
Yeah. First, I need to meditate for 3 hours about like, should I go to bed or should I not? No, but okay, so let's say from like brushing the teeth, I guess. So I will just brush my teeth, floss, and then,
You floss
I don't
after you
know.
brush your teeth?
yeah, no, before.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then I'll go to bed. I'll read in bed.
It's anticlimactic.
Yeah, I was like-
I was just
I don't know how to, but I don't do anything super special. Like we usually watch TV and stuff before we go to bed.
Yep.
So we'll watch TV and then go to the toilet, like do all that stuff, brush the teeth. I don't shower or anything like that before bed. And then I'll just go to bed and then I'll usually read for about like 30, 40 minutes before I actually like fall asleep. I'll usually do like, I'll read until I feel like I can't keep my eyes open anymore throughout the page.
yeah.
And then I'll like, because I read on a Kindle, I'll turn it off and then put it on the side. And
Oh,
fall
that's
asleep.
really good.
Yeah, it's like it's a life hack in terms of reading because I have had such a hard time to get into the habit of reading. And by getting a Kindle, I can actually read at night because it actually lights up and I don't have to have a light lit that keeps my girlfriend awake.
Yeah.
So I can actually read and she can go to sleep and then I get in like 20, 30, 40 minutes every night.
Sponsor alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I usually take a shower, but that could be like 2 hours before I go to bed. But I just want to get clean before getting to bed. Watching something on TV in the sofa, and then brush my teeth. Go to toilet just right before, so I'm done.
Mm.
And then I read for also like 30 minutes,
Mm.
but it won't necessarily have to be that I'm getting tired of it. I just
Oh,
have
okay.
the habit.
Oh.
And then I put on some podcast, some boring sports podcast, hopefully. Because if it's too interesting, I will just be lying awake.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I will fall asleep in 2 minutes. Yeah, that's it.
So you fall asleep to the podcast then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Do you
I-
wear headphones?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I put a timer on the podcast, so it just ends in an hour or 30
okay.
minutes.
That is such a good function on Spotify.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
perfect.
that's
Yeah,
true.
that's really good.
Sleep timer. It's
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about it.
I usually do the same.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I also like to take a shower in the evening. I mean, I always take a shower in the evening before I go to bed. Pretty much. Even if I come home at 3 o'clock in the morning, I would,
yeah, that's right.
I would take a shower before I go to bed. But usually, I have this really weird thing that I want to make my bed before I go to bed.
What?
So every evening when just before I jump into bed, I make my bed. So I pull the sheets out, so everything's like straightened out.
Okay.
I brush everything off. It's really meticulous and weird, but I like to have a made bed, and then I put the covers, the quilts over, and then I fall asleep.
My girlfriend does the same.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And,
It's not so weird.
And their siblings.
and their
Yeah.
siblings.
We're
So
siblings.
maybe they have a hard Japanese mom who has been like, you have to do this, and then you do this.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think it's not OCD obviously, but it's some.
It's a bit OCD.
It's a
like
bit.
a bit, but not like a. Do you feel if you don't take a shower, can you relax in bed? Like even if you've done all the fixing the bed, like if you're not taking a shower, can you go to sleep, or will you have like anxiety and maniac thinking about it?
And not in
the
the same
maniac,
way as
manic,
like when you
manic.
haven't turned the light switch off on and off in 30 times.
Yeah.
But, you know, not like that. I know that you get that. But
Yep.
everyone gets it.
Everyone gets that. I think that it depends. It depends on how. It depends on how new the sheets are. So if like the sheets are like kind of fresh, so let's say it's 3 days old,
Yeah. So
I'm
how
not-
often do you change your sheets?
that really changes. Yeah, I'm not consistent at all. But I reckon like every 2 weeks,
Okay.
That's good.
I'd say. But still, so if I'm like at the end of those 2 weeks and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna change sheets tomorrow, then I'm more inclined to go to bed without taking a shower.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if I take a shower, I mean, usually I just take a shower anyways, and I have a hard time falling asleep. I can't even lay
relax.
down in bed if I haven't taken a shower. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I make my bed, as I said, every time before, and every time when I wake up also.
But
And when you wake up also. Wait.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
This we have to discuss.
So it's already
made.
made. Yeah. It's already made.
That's like a huge detail I just left out. It sounds like you go up to like an unmade bed and you're like, oh, of course I need to make it because it's like all rough. But
No, the bed's
what you walk up to is a perfectly made bed,
and I make
and
it
you're
again.
like, oh, I need to remake this because I didn't make it well enough in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a vital part of that story. You just
I was trying to leave it.
and that's like what takes it from being okay, it's a bit weird to like
Really stupid. Yeah.
It's like already made. and
okay,
good.
yeah,
Not even
that's-
like guys made. It's
Yeah.
like really good made.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's proper.
Yeah.
It's proper made.
But what's the point?
To keep all the bacteria inside of the bed.
Oh yeah, because Ludde likes this argument. He usually says that a messy bed is worse environment for bacteria and
Which I'm also allergic to.
which you're allergic to. So that's
my argument.
That's
to
an
not
argument.
making the bed in the
Yeah.
morning. But I do it anyways because
Oh.
otherwise I would not get food in the evening.
Annalie will tell you off. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. But I don't know why. I just think it's this ritual I do.
But it's this pattern that creates some sort of calmness, I believe. Like you have all these things, just very, just some have more than others.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Definitely.
But when you sleep, do you wake up and drink or go to the toilet, or do you sleep for a whole night?
No, I left out that part too. I do, like right now, I generally will drink about like probably 500 ml or something like that right before I go to bed. So I'll try to be super hydrated up until I go to bed, but I'll also like do one last pee right before I go in to read.
It's exactly this for me.
Yeah,
It's
and
the
then
same.
I have like a chug of water and go to bed. And usually I'll wake up because I need to go to the bathroom. And right now I'm in the routine of like, because this varies. Sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night, but right now I usually wake up right about when I need to wake up or when I probably should. And I can't stay in the bed anymore because I need to pee that bad.
Yeah. Do you drink any water during the night, or do you just wake
No.
up and then you're like, oh, I need to go to the toilet, and I
No.
go up?
I I always have the same routine as you do. I drink, take a leak, go to bed. If I wake up in the middle of the night, usually it's because I need to go to the toilet. I always have my either a clean canteen or some type of glass or something filled with water standing on the desk. So I usually just chug that and then go to the toilet and then go back to bed.
Oh, okay.
So I usually drink every time I wake up in the night as well. Yeah.
Because I wake up and I have to go to the toilet, but sometimes I'm just too tired.
Yeah.
So I just drink more water and then go to sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, for sure.
Does that work? Does that make you less?
No, it's just like I'm like, oh man, the time is 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and I can't go up and go to the toilet.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, nah.
What?
Yeah. So
But
you
why
just
do you drink
more
more
water?
I will drink more water. I'll go to sleep, wake up at 6 and be really, really needing going to the bathroom. And then I probably go to the bathroom because I usually close the balcony door at the same time. So when Anneli is getting up in the morning, she won't have the coldness in the apartment. So that's a routine I have. But I usually drink a lot of water during the night, like probably four times. Like I just like wake up after 2 hours of sleep or 4 hours, and I drink. Then I sleep, wake up again, drink more, and so I'm really thirsty during the night. So I think that's when I drink the most water during a whole day. Like during the day, I don't. Yeah, I think I'm not like drinking enough water during the day. So when I sleep, I will make up for that.
Yeah. But you drink quite a lot of water during the day as well.
Yeah, but not enough.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
think.
Yeah. I like if I go to bed and I know I'm about to fall asleep. You guys started drinking water. Yeah. If I have if there's any indication that I'm like, yeah, I can go to the toilet. Like if I feel even the tiniest bit of need to go to the toilet, I have to get up and do it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can't just try to sleep through it. I have to like go and get it over with. Get it over with. Yeah.
I think I'm trying to, like lately I'm feeling like I'm getting older, and one part of getting older as a man is that you need to go to pee during the night. Like that's a regular thing for guys, and I think I'm trying to work against that by not going. Instead of accepting that I'm getting older and I should just go because I need it. I'm like, nah, I won't be. I don't want to be old, so I won't. It's not necessary for me to go to the toilet during.
That's
the
powerful.
night.
That is.
That's a power move.
That is powerful.
That's a power move.
That is a power move. Yeah.
But the question is, I don't know if is it like, are you sure that it's because of age at this point? Because like, I feel like the age thing is like after 50. That's when you're like, that's a problem.
Like my dad always said like that. After 25, everything starts. It gets worse and worse. So every like problem I have with my body or in my life, he's like, "Yeah, you're getting old. Now you're older than 25. So
oh my God.
It's just going downhill from here."
Oh yeah.
So I think that's a perspective, but probably it could be that you should be around 40 when it happens, but maybe it's that you drink like 500 milliliters of water before you go to bed. That's not like a good thing.
Yeah, I think the thing is like if you think reasonably about it, it feels like if you drink the amount that, for me, like the amount that I drink, it's like during the day I never go more than like 2 maybe 3 hours between peeing. So it's like then during the night if I sleep 9 hours or 8 hours, it's like unreasonable that I wouldn't get up. It's kind of weird if I don't get up to pee, especially if I'm like trying to be as hydrated as I can right before bed. So I think it's just like because you drink a lot of water, you need to go to pee.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing. I mean, drinking a lot of water, especially before going to bed, is something that everyone should do. Honestly, like because when you are sleeping, you're breathing a lot, and you might sweat, and you're losing water through transdermal water loss, I think it's called. So it's
big word.
Yeah, I know. So it's basically it's another way of saying sweating. I think, Just
say sweating,
the big
man.
brain way.
Super pretentious.
Oh yeah, you know the transdermal venom.
Transdermal water loss. Yeah, so I think it's really important for your body and for your skin as well to drink a lot of water. Yeah, to keep yourself hydrated. Yeah. Good icebreaker.
Yeah, that was really good. Which one was it?
Yeah.
What is your bedtime routine?
Yeah, that was really good. I thought it could have been the toilet sheet kind of thing as well, because it's just like the same.
Yeah, I just kept going.
That's really good.
Yeah, this one isn't really. This one is actually more of a power move.
Okay.
It's more mean, and that is. Is that really what you asked for when you went to the hairdresser?
Oh, that's
just douche.
Yeah, that's a really douche.
Is that what you meant to look like?
Exactly. But I think that it feels like we were having different perspectives on the icebreakers, on how we do it. Like, but maybe that says something about us, that I tend to like have some sort of thought that I want to experiment on the other, like even if I have to tell you guys a story as well, or a metaphor, and then see how the other people react to it. And that's me. That's how I usually do it. But Kalle, you didn't have anyone. How do you usually do if you want to create an icebreaker? Like, what would be your strategy?
I don't know. I usually do, like, in reality, if I'm actually like meeting someone for the first time, I will usually try to ask things that I think will lead into things that I would be interested in talking about. Like, what does that person do? Do they study something, or are they interested in something? Is it something that I can bring out where it's like that person is super interested about that thing? Because then they'll usually be like talking a lot, and I don't generally like to be the center of attention when I meet new people. So then I usually try to look for things that can get that person to talk a lot, because then for me, it's also, I find it relatively easy to become interested in whatever they're interested in, because I feel like I can ask questions, and whether I'm actually interested in it or not is not super important, because I usually find something valuable from talking to them. So that's usually what I'll do. But I also hate like small talk. I feel like that's like my pet peeve, because it's so difficult to. I always have in my head like, okay, I don't want to ask for these like, you know, the most common icebreaker things. I don't want to say that, like, oh, how's the weather, or like the weather's been really good lately, or this is so shit right now, it's snowing, or whatever.
But would you say that if you ask a person, like, what are you doing for a living, or whatever?
No.
Would you say that that is also one of those questions that people tend to get when you meet someone for the first time?
Yeah.
Or, is there any risk by asking them that, or?
Yeah, I think the risk is less than like asking about the weather or talking about things that are like super shallow, because I know that if I ask like, what do you do for a living, or where are you from, or things like that, I can then dive into something that's deeper after that, because then I have something to go off. So it's like, okay, you do this. Okay, what does that mean? How do you, what does a day look like? Things like that. But it's kind of difficult, because it can often become that you like kind of hone in on one person, and you like really question them about different things that they might not feel that they want to be questioned about. Like, for instance,
Do you mean in like a group setting?
Yeah,
or
like that's the thing. I have a really difficult time if it's a group setting, because then it tends to be these like really shallow surface level questions that come up, like the weather, and we don't want to dive too deep into one specific thing, and that's something that I find really difficult, because then you keep having to think about these like phrases or things to ask people that are like that I don't care about. And so then what I'll usually do is I'll end up like talking to someone and like hone in on that person, and then it also becomes almost like I'm the center of attention for asking this person so many questions, and everyone's like listening to me asking questions about this person. So it's almost like without or me looking to not be the center of attention, I become the center of attention because I'm like the one almost in control of the questions. Because I also feel like at times, I think a lot of people probably think that these like surface level questions aren't super interesting. So once someone starts to talk about like a little bit more deeper stuff, people sort of become interested in that. And then it becomes like almost a thing of like, okay, this guy's asking questions about this person and like almost leading the conversation. So I almost become like the person who's like, okay, I'm going to ask you and you and you. And then everyone's like listening to whoever I am talking to, if that makes sense. Which is not where I want to be.
No,
But
you want to be in the background.
yeah, I want to be in the background, but I'm like, not.
Yeah. I think questions generally are very, very good to ask if you want to break the ice.
Yeah.
And because I feel like those kind of things that I do is more being in the center, but you have to come up with a really good discussion. Like the risk is that this is not working. The people that I try to do this on don't fly on this discussion at all, and then it's just like a bit embarrassing or just a boring like there won't be any discussions, and then I will have to leave. Like I'm going to some other people now.
Yeah, I usually obviously I just want to clarify the icebreakers both of us use now, or I'm just speaking for myself, I don't use these icebreakers. But when you have a conversation with someone, asking questions where they can express or like they can let you know who they are and what they do or what they find interesting, it usually leads to a much more interesting conversation, and that, as you said, allows for more engagement between you and that person. And that is probably pulling like an attractive force that other people will hear and listen about. Like, okay, this isn't just surface level talk. It is, this person is actually, giving out information about themselves in a proper way. And I've also stumbled upon people where you ask questions, you want to get to know them, and they're not at all mottaglig. They're not at all receptible for those kind of questions, and it kind of just, as you said, it gets really awkward, or it just ends up you're like, why
are you here?
Why are you here? Yeah, what are we supposed to talk about? Like, what do you want to talk about? And I just usually also just leave.
Yeah, the risk for me is like also when I do that, when I start to question, it feels like I can end up in a position where because it's kind of a vulnerable position for the person that I'm talking to, because they share stuff about themselves that are more personal, more like close to the chest, I guess. And so I think something that I haven't thought too much about in the past, but that I've realized like in the moment
is that you should have become a shrink.
Yeah. Exactly. I should have become a shrink. No, but almost it's like I'm going so deep on this person, and I'm asking questions that I'm realizing after a while that like, okay, now it might seem, because I get lost in what I'm asking, and I'm like focusing on like, okay, because it's also kind of a way for me to forget about the fact that there are other people there, and that like the situation as a whole, I can like, okay, I'm going to focus on whatever this person talks about. So I can get lost in what's happening. And that means that at times I can kind of lose myself in what I'm asking that person. And then I realize that, okay, everyone is like listening to what I'm asking this person. And this person is now maybe potentially feeling like I'm almost attacking that person. Not in that way, because I don't tend to do it in that way. But it's invasive. Almost like they're like in a job interview, almost like I'm just asking questions. And it might be unsuitable for that particular situation to be asking those questions, and I only realize afterwards, and then I have to be like, yeah, okay, someone else take the table now.
Yeah,
but I don't think that it's necessarily wrong to be asking those kind of questions. I think that it is almost more up to the people around you to, I mean, if they have surface level conversations and they choose to hone in to whatever you're asking this person, that is what creates this awkward situation or this invasive sensation that this person might feel. But I also feel that if you do ask these questions and you do show interest and you do get interested in what this person is saying, those situations can often lead to like a very nice conversation as well. So sometimes it ends up being like a really, really good conversation and something that you may not have had if you didn't go that far or if you didn't ask these questions. So it's like a double-edged blade in a way, because it can become very awkward and invasive in a way, but also the other person might feel like, wow, it's nice to have someone who actually shows interests or asks these questions that I want to talk about. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the hope with it, at least, that they feel comfortable and like that someone is interested in them, I guess.
I agree.
I feel like
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know how long, if you're gonna guess how long we've talked for.
42 minutes.
Yeah, I was about 40 minutes.
40 minutes. Okay.
Be honest. What do you think?
An hour?
An hour. Okay, let me check.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want to see more content from us, you can follow us on our main channel, The Exit Strategy, or you can listen to us on any podcast platform. So thank you for watching this video. If you want to see more from us, you can follow us on our main channel, The Exit Strategy, or you can listen to us on any podcast platform, or you can see the clips, which is right here.